Hey guys, I have missed you. Have I missed you? I know I miss sharing, you know? I miss being in connection in this flow of sharing my heart and this flow of giving and receiving with you all. I've been in just more of a receptive state recently. I was at this energy vortex place some of you guys know about, and that was just really all about receiving, and there wasn't much doing involved, especially the last week. The last week I basically melted into the infinite. I was like, I had 10 thoughts at once just then. I was just like, who am I? Where am I? Like, I couldn't find there was no me force in the last week. I was just like, and it was so peaceful and just like delicious. And like, I'm just like basking in grace and resting. And I mean, it had its challenges too. It was like searing grace. It was just like burning up. Burning up my body and my brain. But yeah, I was just like melted into the infinite. And the other thought I was having just then is when I was like, do I miss you guys? It's like almost like yes, but I also miss myself. That's what it was. I started to miss myself, even the lowercase s self. You know, I was merged into the uppercase self. I was merged into the ultimate, merged into peace. But I started, something was like, I miss being the human, you know? I miss being in the humanity, in the body, mind, whatever, complex. I missed it. And I was like, oh yeah, we came here to be human, you know? We've rested in the ultimate for eons and eons. And then we're like, oh cool, let's go into form. Let's go into density. Let's go into duality. And I was missing it. I was just missing me. I was missing me. And when you go into a really powerful energy vortex, especially for like a fucking month like I did. And by the way, you don't even have, when you're first waking up, you won't have most of us, this was how it was for me, we don't have the bandwidth, the nervous system like capacity to go into such a vortex for so long. It's been like 6 years of upgrades for me to even be able to go into a place like I just went for a month. And when you go into that kind of vortex, like I was saying, you lose, like the me force dies. You're just kind of, it's even hard to put into words. It's basically like a non-duality experience, but you're just grace. You're just light, you know, it's like I was, in a sense, I didn't even really have a personality. I was just like, I would walk into the grocery store a lot of the times and I was just kind of like blissed out, and I was just, and a lot of people, they want to chase that state, and they would just, how could you want to leave that? And it's like, well, I think my soul knows that so deeply that it wants to play in duality. It wants to play in form, you know, and for me, I don't want to just be like that forever. Now, if it just happens spontaneously in my existence and it just comes over me no matter where I am, cool, whatever, then that's divine will. But for me, I noticed that last week, I was like, I had no will. That place demolished my will. There was nothing, I couldn't even hope to shoot a video. Yeah. And so I'm actually integrating the whole experience, and this video is kind of part of that, of like, holy fuck, that was intense. I went really deep. She, meaning the energy vortex, she burned out so much fear from my belly, so much survival fear. It was like she was just working on me for a month straight, just incinerating all kinds of programs and conditioning and who I thought I was. And so it's like I came in as one version of Matthew, and after a while I was no versions of Matthew. I was just whatever energy it seemed like. And now I come out, I don't even know who I am in a sense. I'm like starting to fill back into another version of Matthew in this moment. You know, it feels just a little bit more free, this new version, I guess. I'm like learning it on the fly. You know, I just literally drove from there today. I've only been away for 4 or 5 hours. Headed to another energy vortex, which is kind of hilarious. You know what's funny is I was getting ready to leave. I had like a few days left. I'm like, what am I gonna do? And then I got this inspiration. I'm like, I'm going to Guatemala. And it sounded fun. And I bought a plane ticket. I reserved an Airbnb for a month. I had arrangements where I was gonna park my car. I had someone who was gonna give me a ride to a town nearby, and then I was gonna take a shuttle to the Las Vegas airport. And I was going to Guatemala. I was all jazzed. And then my Airbnb host was like, Matthew, where are you? Where are you coming from? I was like, the United States. She's like, we are basically in a political crisis. Look on the internet. There are barricades everywhere. She's like, I worry that you won't be able to get to where I am, because she's down by this lake I want to go experience. Her Airbnb is. And it's like 4 or something, fuck, who knows, 5 hours from the airport in Guatemala City. And so I was like looking stuff up, and yeah, sure enough, there's a little bit of turmoil or a lot of turmoil, non-violent. And I was wanting to go through with it. I don't know. I actually kind of liked the protests when I started reading about them. I'm like, cool. This feels like evolution for them. This feels like something really powerful for their country. And I was kind of, I don't know, I was like getting involved in that in a way. But then I was like, yeah, is it really, I'm gonna have to go there, and then probably, how's that gonna work? And I don't know. And she was really relieved. She's like really happy I just decided to not go for now and just to give it a little time. Because she was worried. I could tell she was like, you know, kind of trying to signal me to, hey, maybe you should wait. Because you never know with these things. Who knows what it could be in 2 or 3 days when I get there, right? Could be kind of cleared up, or it could be amplified. So I was kind of bummed, but I know I'll probably be there eventually. So then, you know, I was having to leave, and I decided, well, I'll just go camp in my car, because I didn't make any fucking money in that vortex. Like, there was nothing here to make money. There was like, I didn't realize I just paid for a month-long spiritual retreat, essentially. I could not get my masculine activated to like business things. I could, you know what I mean? My field was not open to receive that. I was just literally receiving currents of grace in every moment. There was no receiving money. There was no receiving sessions. I was just literally cut off from all of that, which actually brought up a ton of survival fear for me to work through. Because when you're just slowly going into more and more debt, and no money's coming in, and there's nothing you can do about it, like nothing I could do, I could not activate anything within me to like do that kind of thing. You just have to face all these fears, and holy fuck, I released a lot of survival fears. And I was like, why am I not making money? I am literally being, you know, flooded with grace in every moment. And I just so badly wanted to share it and let it flow through. But every time, you know, I did make some videos like kind of towards the beginning, the first 3 weeks, and then it kind of just dropped off slowly. But they felt there was like an element of like, I had to really will them out. Like right now, this is really fucking effortless. This is fun. This is easy. This is perfect. When I was there, I just was like, oh, like I was like trying to like move through sludge to do anything with my work or business. And it just became clear to me like, hey, honey, this is fucking a spiritual retreat. You're not meant to be working. You're not meant to be making money right now. You're meant to be facing fears. You're meant to be releasing old programs. You're meant to be receiving grace. It's like and I had this realization towards the end. It's like, oh yeah, I was receiving so much support. It was just in a different form of energy. It's like I was in so much abundance of like light and love and peace. So there was a lot of abundance in the experience. It's just not where my mind wanted it. Because my mind had this idea, oh, we're going to go to this Adobe retreat. Or I didn't even know it was a fucking retreat or vortex, to be honest. But we're going to go to this Adobe home. It looks peaceful. We're going to make a bunch of awesome videos. And we're going to do tons of sessions with clients. And it's just so funny how life works, because it was pretty much immediate. It was immediately apparent, although I fought it, that like, sweetheart, that ain't what this is gonna be. And I finally did give up. The last week I was just like, oh, fuck it. I'm not making anything happen. Like nothing, or like I can't make anything happen. Nothing's meant to happen right now in that way. And I just, in the last few days, was realizing, oh yeah, I paid the money to come here to rest, to give myself over to the light more fully. And it was beautiful, it was profound, it was deep, it was intense, it was powerful. And there was this powerless feeling, like I literally couldn't do anything. That light was so strong. It was just literally like incinerating, demolishing the personal will, any type of self that wanted to do something to try to whatever. Any type of survival fear that came up that was like, oh, I've got to do something. It was just like blowing out of my body. And I blew out so much survival fear. I was like willing to go to Guatemala. like, who cares, you know? And it was just, yeah, it was like a lot of fear of death was left there, or got taken from me while I was there. A lot of fear of what people think. It's still there. You know, it's me though, mostly. It's like, what do I think of me? I notice I'm very self-rejecting at times. I was catching that today. So yeah, I was like, oh, I can't go to Guatemala. Damn it. So I was like, I'm just gonna go camp in my car. I have like less than no money. And I was like, I'm just gonna let this energy kind of integrate and like learn who I am again, like learn how to like, okay, I'm in a human body, I have a mind again, this is cool. Like, all right. I might even do like a cleaning job. Like I might go clean houses, just to kind of like, sometimes manual labor can get you in your body really good. And yeah, we'll see. Sometimes the divine, I have some commenters every now and then, they're like, dude, just get a job. I'm like, oh, I would love to still be in sales, making thousands and thousands of dollars like a month. Trust me, my personal will would love that. The divine has forced me into like, you're only going to make money doing this, and you have to find a way making money doing this, meaning giving my gifts. It's not like I was like, maybe at first, but definitely not after a while. It's not like I'm like, oh, ride or die with my gifts. No, fuck no. It's like literally, you know those video games when you can't leave the level or something? It's been like that for me whenever I've tried to reach back into the matrix to get a job or something. Every now and then it'll work. I can like house sit dogs or cats for a little bit, and a year ago, I cleaned houses for like 4 days, and maybe she'll let me clean houses for a few days today, or a few days this year, just to kind of get some momentum going back in that direction of money coming in, right? For the psyche. Now that I have a psyche to like really orient with, it is kind of nice to have a psyche again though. And like, oh, I can orient to like form, and I was like, that was a very high dimensional experience where it was just so beyond form and duality. So to come back into it's actually fun. It's like, oh, I'm playing the video game again. It's like, I love the video game. Yay, let's play the video game. We got to make money, and we got to do things, you know? And so, yeah, I've never had this like spiritual arrogance or ego of like, oh, I'm only a spiritual guide. That's the only way I accept money. No, fuck that. Fuck that. It's like my spiritual ego would have fucking been in sales for so much longer. That was my original plan when I woke up when I'm 30. I was like, I'll probably take 10 years to integrate this, and then maybe I'll start writing and sharing about it. And then it was like a year went by and the divine was like just channeling through me all these videos that have helped a lot of people with head pressure and the top-down Kundalini awakening and heart chakra openings. And so then the divine just kept doing that. And this is the only way it's felt in integrity for me to make money. And not only that, it's the only way it's felt like, it's the only thing I could do. And that's for a greater evolutionary purpose. It's like life is pushing me into this, I could say role, or this, it's pushing me into the shape it needs me to be for the collective, which is to do this. And I had to face a lot of fears about it this last month, like making so little money. I was like, God, why are you not supporting me? I'm doing everything you're telling me. And so I had to face a lot of these fears and like, what am I gonna do? And I did realize towards the end, like, oh, I see, you were supporting me the whole time. And yeah, so I've always been open to like, fuck, I'll scrub people's toilets. I might go do that now in Sedona for a little while. I do not care. I'm not above anything. It's all in a sense spiritual. It's just a matter of life, my life force energy, divine will, literally like a video game, won't even allow me to do it. There's like, I literally can't. Sometimes it's very bizarre. Maybe you guys have had this experience where you literally can't walk into the same job again. You can't, you know what I mean? It's like the video game has cut that level off, and it's just like Tomb Raider, Lara Croft, you're walking into walls, but you can't go through them and you're getting pissed. That's how my ego's been a lot with trying to make money. It's like, I didn't want to, on an egoic level, have to go through the things I've went through, like financially. They've been incredible and profound and grown me as a human, as a man, as a spiritual being, as a soul. But of course I wanted the easier path, you know, of course. Who doesn't? And we'll see, maybe I'll get a little break with that. Maybe, maybe things will open up again in that realm for me doing this work. I feel like I'll probably be bringing a lot of videos through. My field feels way open, more than it did in a personal sense. Like, oh, I actually have my own personal field now. Because when I was at the vortex, I didn't even feel like I said, I wasn't even here. I didn't even exist halfway, it seemed like. It's like, where's my field? It was just being demolished and crushed by like a much more powerful field. And I was like trying to like assert my will against it for like a while, and then I was just like, I can't. this fucking grace is so too powerful. I'm done. I give up. Oh, yeah. Feels so good to share and just to let it flow and just to be me with you guys. Yeah. I don't think I have anything else to say. If you want to support this work, donation links in the description box. I feel a lot of bliss right now, sharing with you guys. A lot of love, a lot of peace, a lot of joy, So much fucking joy. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna head to Sedona, do a little camping, kind of like sort myself from there, or let the universe like sort me out. Like, all right, what are we doing next? Yeah. Much love to you guys. See you in the next video. Namaste.